the best thing that's happening in your business is industrial real estate, and that's not warehouses, people ordering things, whatever you can think of. That's really hot, right?
Yes, absolutely. And thanks for having me on the show, Joe. You're absolutely right. RMR, we have a pretty broad breadth scope of what's going on in commercial real estate. We have about 2,100 properties. We touch all types of property types, principally focused on North America, mostly in the United States. You're absolutely right. The best performing asset class in commercial real estate during the pandemic has absolutely been the industrial sector. That being said, there have been other sectors that have also fared okay. Multifamily has done okay. I would argue that office has done actually quite well. There's a sort of a tale of two cities going on with office. There's a lot of people talking about office and its demise. But then when you're in the industry collecting rents and seeing people sign new leases, things are actually quite strong. I mean, we have more leasing activity in the first 7-8 months of 2021 than we did in the comparable period in 2019. Obviously, the tougher sectors, retail, hospitality, senior living. So you're right. It is some sectors are doing quite well and some are struggling.
What in terms of office, everybody who came back is staying, but everybody who planned to come back is not coming back at the time they planned to come back. So long-term leases, does it affect that? Or, I mean, it was already happening. You're already recovering, weren't you? Is that put on hold?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe. Everyone who had already come back or was in the middle of coming back, they stayed and they did not send their workers home. Everybody, and it tended to be larger companies, larger tenants who had not yet come back, they tended to extend their return to office mandates. We have not seen sort of a change in behavior from our tenants. They're still signing relatively long leases. We have not seen people substantially change their office design to, let's say, adhere to a hybrid workforce where the folks might be coming in only 1, 2, or 3 days a week. I think what's going on is there's a lot of tenants that are basically sitting back and they say they have a lot of open questions and they want to get their workers back in the office safely. They want to see how it plays out, and then they want to start making some longer term decisions. That's actually what we saw in 2000. In 2000, as the pandemic was raging, leasing activity really slowed down. People just sort of froze in space in where they were. As you got into 21, there was a lot of leasing activity, and people said, well, we got to wait till we see what happens, and then we'll make longer term decisions. Until then, we have to have a place for our workers to go, and so we're going to sign new leases. And
even in travel, I think of Sonesta and Sonesta International Hotels. I think of a lot of maybe conventions and things at the Sonesta. So I worry about that. Then you got Travel Centers of America. That is up 218% in the last couple of years. I love those plays. 270 of them. So everybody's driving everywhere. So it's totally bifurcated, even travel.
Absolutely, you're hitting it right on the head. What we're seeing in hotels, yes, the summer's actually been pretty good for hotels for leisure travel. You're absolutely right. The thing that we worry the most, I think the industry worries the most about, is how is business travel going to come back, especially in the fall. If you asked us 2 months ago when the Delta variant wasn't as prevalent as it is today, we'd all be saying we think the fall is going to be pretty strong. I think everyone's expectations have tempered a little bit in the hospitality space. On Travel Centers, you're absolutely right. The company's done it really well. During the pandemic, it had its best performance in over a decade, was during the pandemic. And we're off to a very strong 2021. We're probably going to beat 2020 in terms of our results. You're right. Fuel volumes are up. People are traveling. There's a lot more trucks on the road. People are moving goods. You have to service the trucks. People are staying, they're going to the restaurants at the travel centers. They've actually never been as busy as they are today. So it is sort of a world of have and have nots.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.